Yeah, so whenever you feel that you no longer are bringing value to the play, what you need to do is just basically like get out. Um, that like eliminating hesitation like that is really big for developing players because they tend to like um, stick around too long, and that basically like kills momentum and speed and like just overall team play. Um,
Uh-huh.
so you know, my biggest thing with at least playing threes is your speed. Speed is king when it comes to this game. So we'll be looking at ways to like really kind of bump that up. Um, some terminology that I'm going to be using quite a bit is the three speeds of Rocket League. Um, there is slow speed, which is basically from park till like as fast as you can go without boosting, which this is that top speed. So this is slow speed. Actually, I forgot to ask. What general ranks is the tier you guys are in?
Like, well, it used to be Diamond 3, Champ 1.
Hmm.
Now it's a little lower after the reset.
So Diamond 2-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of
Yep.
us we got our champ rewards last season. I think, or at least we were in champ
Yeah.
for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
that
I,
helps.
I hate to burst your bubble, um, but because it was such a long season, um, MMRs got a little bit inflated towards the end.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like it's still, an accomplishment, but um, I'm basically saying that to say like don't be discouraged if you're not back there yet. Um,
Well, my bubble's burst.
um, like yeah, so like even with us, like our teammate Nick hit 1900. I personally hit 1800, and we've barely been able to crack 1600 yet. So yeah, it's just kind of weird the way that the seasons work out. So anyway, the speeds. So yeah, we got slow speed. Then we got supersonic, which is when the trails come out. And then the speed that not many people know about is what's called boost speed, and that is somewhere in between supersonic and slow, which kind of looks like this. I keep accidentally going into supersonic, but you get the gist, right? Um, what you guys want to improve on is basically you want to be avoiding this speed as much as possible. And ideally, you want to either be supersonic or at boost speed for the majority of the game. Um, you're still going to be in slow speed probably about 40 to 45% of the game. And if you guys don't use ballchasing.com, it's an incredible tool. Oh, I don't know what. I create new tabs just out of habit. So yeah, you have to link your Steam account, but it's a very trusted site. I've never heard anyone say they were scammed by them. Although they could pull off the biggest heist in history if they wanted
Yeah.
to. But no,
Used it last year a little.
they're pretty safe. Um, so yeah, you can go to the movement players tab, and this gives you like an overall score. Typically, you want to see yourself approaching 70. If you go past that, that's great. Supersonic speed, you want to see about these numbers, 12 to 16%. Again, if you go higher, that's great. And then slow speed ideally should be more than, or boost speed should be more than slow speed. Unfortunately, we kind of struggled on Wednesday, so this kind of reflects that. We were just not fast enough in that regard. So this is a very good tool to use. Let's look how you guys did without even watching the replays yet. I'll just pick, do you guys remember what game you won?
3, I think.
Okay, so I won't pick that one.
Thought we won 2, but maybe not. Anyways, yeah, something.
Oh, maybe 2.
Yeah. So, this is you guys, right? Yeah. So yeah, these numbers can definitely improve. You guys see that these guys are going about the pace of like a master team, maybe major master. They probably don't have the control that we do, but yeah, this still is a huge indication as to why you guys probably lost that series. So yeah, we need to get these about up to like 65, 66. Looks like Papa Hoff has some decent speed, but this doesn't show the entire picture. For example, if you are constantly rotating back, like all the way back, that can inflate your speed, even though that's not a very good strategy to winning games. So, you know, we'll take a look at that. Oh wait, I gotta put the files in the...
Let's have 32 more lights on.
So it looks like there was a lot of goals in this game, so we'll take a look. Wow, they're really bunched up. Okay. So this kind of goes back to like what I was mentioning with like when you don't have excuse me, any more value to really bring to the play, you never want to be like stopped waiting for something to happen here. So yeah, you're kind of like watching the play develop over here, which is good. Like it's good to be forward thinking in this game. However, to up to speed, you constantly need to be moving and collecting boost pads. So immediately after kickoff, if you are cheating, ideally you want to be about where you are when contact on the wall is made. However, if it were to shoot out to the right like it does, I typically recommend just coming out here, hitting that pad, no, there's no pad there, and then getting that 100. Because what that will do is this guy that took the kickoff will not have any boost available for him. So that helps the kind of boost economy go into your favor. And from there you can kind of like swing out and allow Papa to kind of do his thing over here. So that'll be a key thing, is just constantly be moving and be collecting boost pads.
Okay.
Okay. And then here it kind of breaks down my defensive philosophy when it comes to things. Here what happens is, so scope recovers on the wall, comes down. From there, you know, in your point of view, you probably don't see any teammates in front of you that can immediately make the challenge. So even if you don't have a whole lot of boost, which you probably don't at this point after, you didn't get 100 off the kickoff, and then you also use some coming over here. But even without it, what you want to be doing is you want to be pressuring the shot that's coming in. The reason being is that by pressuring that shot, you cut off a lot of angles that he's able to potentially score on. The last thing you want to do is like just wait down here for the shot to come in, because let me rotate the camera a bit. Okay. So by not pressuring a shot and by being like still, you guys are basically covering. Well, for one scope, you'd only be able to cover about this much of the net. With Weiser there, he'd be able to cover about this. So that leaves like this available to shoot on. And potentially not even that high. He might even be able to score there. So yeah, that's about 60-70% of the net. That's like open net for the guy to shoot on. So by charging him, by being as close as possible to him when he makes a shot, all of a sudden he needs to make like the perfect shot to get around you, and more often than not he's not going to. Even in the ranks that I play in, this is still a fairly low percentage shot. And even more so, the more you go down. So you definitely want to just be making the shot as difficult as possible. And then for advice for Weiser would be taking a little bit wider back here and grabbing that 12 pad. You'd be very surprised how big of a difference. Actually, you have 80, so you probably can even just go even more farther back. But say you were on low boost, grabbing that 12, you'd be amazed what that can do for you on the defensive end. Yeah, so like that's what you want to be doing all the time. Even as like last man, like challenging that shot is what you want to be doing. Okay. So I apologize, Scope, if I'm like pointing a lot of things out for you at the moment, but I'm sure
No worries.
everybody is doing the same mistake, and I'm sure I'll find plenty others. So here, so immediate recognition that getting to that ball is gonna be very difficult. So I like the idea of like just getting out. However, one thing to adjust the speed is this path line here, you want to make your best friend. I call this the football because it's oval. And then just straight down as well, too, is very good. And this can take you from like 0 boost up to 72 if they're all there. So that's a very important resource to be aware of. And then one other thing is that people tend to not flip enough going around the field. Let's see, we're leaving at 411. This is also another thing to do to really bump up your speed. And you could do this in as like a training. I would definitely recommend doing this, at least a few minutes a day. You don't have to like grind it out or anything. It's not overly complicated. However, you want to be aware of where like all the pads are on the field. So like, you have the football, but then you also have some pads on the side going around the perimeter of the field as well. So whenever you find yourself kind of like slowed down and without much boost, instead of just like making a beeline to the 100, the better thing to do would be to hit a pad and then immediately flip into it, because it's a whole lot faster than not hitting any boost at all. And also you want to try and avoid like front flips because they're not very fast. Diagonal flips are a much better way to go about it. So see how like on that route I used let's see. So like what'd I do again? Oh yeah. So this is one of my favorite routes here. This is kind of the part of the field that I call the diamond because it makes, a diamond right here. But then if you notice, two parts of the diamond is in line with a pad on the football, right? So you hit one, go through all three, and you're in supersonic hitting that boost. And once you end up getting the boost, like you're already at supersonic. You don't need to be using any more. So that's a really good boost economy. So
Nice.
yeah, so whenever you're in the game, like be looking to hit a couple pads, and even if that 100 isn't there, then from there you can realize that, make a sharp turn here, and just continue on the football. So that's basically how you need to be thinking for good boost management, and good boost management leads to good speed, basically. All right. This is also going to be a big concept that I talk about. So a very old school way of thinking about positioning is what I call diamond or triangle positioning. Now, technically, there's 3 players on the field, so there's 3 points. You're always going to be in a triangle. However, you want to be avoiding, if you remember from geometry, perfect triangles. You will always want them to be basically as acute as possible. So for me, the way you guys should be initiating attacks, when now there are exceptions. However, the general rule of thumb is that whenever the opposing team has numbers on their side of the field, where's the other guy? Is he?
By our net.
Is he? Oh yeah. So yeah, even with 2 players there, this is the way you're going to be wanting to approach your offensive attacks. So you got the guy here going into the corner. That's good. For Papa, what he'll want to do is go about here. And then Weiser should be rotating all the way back over here. One sec. Nick wants to join. Yeah. So this is the ideal positioning to be doing this, and what I call the straight line. Now, the one exception is going to be when they only have like one player back, the other team. Then you can like go out here because then he can make a nice hard pass over, and from there you can kind of easily get a goal with that. So the reasons why the triangle is bad is, so the guy in the corner, is going over here. Say he hits here, and the ball comes out a little bit. No, it's too big of a line, but you get my point. What happens is this is a missed opportunity because this guy can very easily come in and swipe the ball away. And, you want to be creating and converting as much opportunities as possible, because obviously whoever scores the most goals wins, right? So this is how you create opportunities. So by having someone here, they are having a much better chance to actually get to the ball and taking a good shot. And even if you do get the shot from being out here or from out here, that gives them more time to come in and challenge your shot, making it more difficult for you. The other reason why this is bad is that both this guy and this guy over here both feel the need to come in and take that shot. That's bad because now you guys have overcommitted yourselves. They swipe it out, and now all of a sudden your attack is being countered, and you guys are all upfield, and this guy can very easily just kind of drive the ball back into the net. That also applies for aerials. Both players feel the need to go for that. It's just a very kind of risky way to play it. Both risky.
It's confusing.
Yeah. Both risky and you're not able to convert as well. So should the ball pop in the air, both 2 and 3 can potentially go for it. 2 should be going for it if it is basically like here or so. But if the ball is too high up in the air, the guy back here actually has the better shot because he's able to, use the space that he has to get into the air. And so, let's see, we're going to get 3 of 5. Shit. So good powerful shots come from having more space to get things done. Wait, I chose the wrong pack. Yeah. So say, you're jumping here. Like, yeah, you make decent contact, but it's actually very difficult to get it accurate, and also you leave a lot of power on the table. So by having a nice run up like this, you're able to be a whole lot more accurate as well as get a whole lot more power. Right. Also, I'll be sending you guys this pack. This is by far my favorite out there. It's really good. It's called All Comes of Shots, and just as the name suggests, is literally all kinds of shots. So it's a very nice, well-rounded practice for you guys. I probably,
Cool.
honestly, I barely use any other pack. Just that one. Good. Was Papa DC or I don't know.
He does have some internet issues, so
Oh, okay.
that could have been one.
Okay. So yeah, this was kind of the result of just not challenging. Once you realize that, Wiser doesn't actually have hit. So one, I think Scope needs to be moving up already at this point, because you should be realizing that you are the two-man, and theoretically you should have someone behind you to basically do the job that you are anticipating, that you ultimately ended up doing, but you had another guy there to, do the job for that. So yeah, be moving up already, and then once you realize that, he doesn't have the hit, you could be basically at that boost pad already, and then you could be challenging that shot. This was just a product of allowing them too much space, and from that, they were able to make, that shot. That's a pretty good shot considering you probably had a boost.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, nice flick. Wait, you guys actually won this one. This is the one you won.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, there's still things to take away from wins too.
Right. Yeah.
I got professional coaching for quite a while from a I don't know if he's still an RLCS coach, but he coached TSM for a while. Jake, if you guys are old school RLCS fans, I don't know when you guys started playing the game, but he was a professional from like seasons 2 through 5. So yeah, I got coaching from him from like 6 months, and what we would do at the end, he would actually have me send games where I felt like I popped off, and then he'd still criticize what I did. So
Nice.
yeah. So even at your best, there's still things to be improved on. Okay. So here, yeah. So a big thing is not being caught in the middle ground of things. You never want to be caught in the middle ground. You either want to have the conviction to just go for that. So like here, Scope, you should be basically jumping right now. Or being more patient and just allowing him to hit that ball. Now I know I say that to like kind of be challenging, but from that distance, like even staying back, that he's not going to be scoring from there. So yeah, that's just like just being caught in the middle ground. And yeah, that's basically where you never want to be. Let's see. Yeah, and unfortunately Popov is just caught without a lot of boosts. So here, you know, you could have been back and ready just by using your pennies. You never want to be going over 100 pads hoping it just shows up for you. You always want to be finding ways to boost your speed up from where you are, even without hundreds around. So like one exercise to do to improve that boost management is just going into free play, turning unlimited boost off, and just be going around the field hitting pads, and you know, doing your diagonal flips as well. This will help ingrain. So yeah, this is the diamond here. Weiser goes out wide. I understand the methodology behind it. Like, you know, you're here to grab that, should have come out, right? But by playing in a straight line, this guy can very easily get to that already. So as second man, try to get it out of your thoughts that this is your job to get, unless it's very obvious that blue team is going to get to the ball first. Unless it's like super obvious, then yeah, go ahead and do it. However, if you think that your guy pushing up has a chance to either A, score, or hit it off the slide wall, poking it out, or making a pass, then go ahead and just come out here, because that'll, again, like, help you guys convert more opportunities. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the free play practice and just like driving around. Basically, the goal is that you want to maintain supersonic speed as much as possible. Like, that'll be your indication that it's getting better, and then it will help you ingrain, you know, these where these are, and you'll find that there is a lot of paths that you can take to easily get, you know, 30 to 40 boost right off the bat. And if you're constantly going fast, 30 or 40 is more valuable than slow, because you then have to use less boost to accelerate because you're already going fast, right?
Makes sense.
Okay. Right. So here, I like Scope's positioning here, actually. Like, back post isn't, you know, people always say go back post, but, you know, for one, you already have someone back post. I don't know if you were aware of that or not, but even if you didn't, like, more than likely he's putting that shot to the right. My general rule of thumb is who's ever near posts should be going for these balls. So I think Weiser should just stay a little bit grounded, allow him to go for that. General rule of thumb that I think all teams should basically go by is near post goes for balls that are out here. Unless you know that they can't get to it. That's the exception. So say the ball hits out more over here or so, then back post can go for that because they have the better angle at getting to it. Alright. Another big idea is to be taking wider angles at going into your hits. So whenever you have a ball that is yours that you need to go for, try and evaluate how much time you actually have to make a hit on that. So by turning directly here, you have very little space to get back up to speed and get a good hit. And then also you don't have a very good angle to put the ball where you actually want to. So you want to be putting the ball more over here or so. But at the angle that you have, it's going to be more over here, right? So, you know, you got tons of time. Turtle completely flew past the ball. He's out of the play. They're back over here. So you have some time to like hit these two pads, turn, and then get a nice power on it. You want to be making things as easy for yourself as possible. But instead the hit like gave that Volpine guy time to come in and basically turn the possession back over to them. Okay. Yeah. So here, Papa should just be a little bit more patient going into the back post of it. Let's check his point of view. Yeah. So another big key concept, and I'm trying to get all these kind of out of the way. I'm sorry if it's a lot, but you guys can kind of go back and review it. So top level players, actually not even all of them, but you know, the smart top level people, you can get there by just being a mechanical god. I'm not that kind of player, but what makes my strength is being aware of everything that's going on the field. And so you want to be constantly looking around and taking notice of what's happening. So knowing that these guys are here, 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 that includes your teammates and the opponents. You know that they have pretty decent speed, and you just notice that this guy lost all of his speed via bad touch. So that's going to allow Scope to come in and make the challenge, and then you come back over here and just kind of back him up should anything go wrong. So unfortunately, instead, that happens. Now, both you guys actually recover nicely. However, there's going to be times where that can come back and bite you in the ass as well. Yeah, so even there you guys see that funny, something I criticized you against wound up to a goal. That actually happened a lot in my coaching sessions with Jake. Is like he'd point out a mistake I made and then I score like 3 seconds later. But it's kind of one of those things where, like, you can get away with bad habits at certain skill levels of this game. However, there comes a point where that will work against you more often than work for you, right? All right. So a couple things here is that I think that's challengeable. No, actually, it's actually probably better that he went the other way. However, this is a instance of where you need to be shadow defending. Are you guys familiar with what shadow defending is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no.
Okay. So, Papa cuts in a little bit too early here, and that allows the blue guy to basically just kind of deke him out a little bit. Knowing that you still have, like, this much of the field to make the play, coming in more like this and meeting him here would have been a better option. However, by immediately trying to, like, come out here, I love, trying to be aggressive. I actually think a very good way of improving is trying to be over aggressive and then kind of temper yourself back to somewhere between aggressive and conservative. Another thing that helps a lot of teams is to have times where you try to play uncomfortably fast to the point where you feel that you are out of control. Because that works like, working out strength training, right? You try to, try and lift bigger and heavier weights over time, and, to the point where it's, uncomfortable for you. But then over time, say you were struggling with a 25-pound dumbbell, by bumping yourself up over time, eventually that becomes like nothing, right? That could be just like a warm-up for you. So, yeah, try and find, like, if you guys don't care too much about your ranked, you could do in ranked, but, if you don't necessarily want to, like, tank that, and I don't recommend not caring about your rank, because, you want to be playing better competition makes you better, but, you could do it in casual. I know casual can kind of suck sometimes, but it's still good for this kind of practice, like going uncomfortably fast. You can do it in the new tournament modes. That's a good time. And then also in scrims, doing that for like the first half or first few games of the scrims, and then going back to not slow, but to the point where you feel back into control, because, like, you don't want to be losing your RC games just to improve. Obviously, you want to win those. So that's probably a good way to improve as well. So I'll probably quickly go over one more game. I pretty much have given you guys all the big ideas when it comes to improving. And then from there, you could really fine-tune things as well. So, you know, I talked speed, the proper formation, just like some overall defensive rotation ideas.
This is not a good one, let me tell you.
Yeah. So yeah, this could be just a mechanical thing.
I thought it was gonna be a lot higher, which I don't even know, because you can, I don't know, just thought it was gonna be like more top post,
Yeah.
and it wasn't at all. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that kind of read is just something that'll improve over time. Yeah. So I mentioned straight line just for like initiating attacks. Once you guys get it into their end, then there's ways to break that down. That should just be like the starting formation. So like here you guys are back into the triangle, but that's fine because, you know, Weiser's going for the ball. Obviously, you don't want to give away possession just to stay in a straight line. Like, yeah, you want to keep possession. But here is just like another instance of being aware of everything that's going on and where everybody is. So both MK and Scope have a good shot at this ball. However, the thing is that by knowing that Scope's there and he does have a good shot at this, you are in his blind spot. So, you know, he's not aware of like where you are, and he's not going to be passing up an opportunity to score based on hope that you're there, and he shouldn't. So either A, let him take the shot, or B, call him off. And, you know, when you're calling off people, part of that should be because you know that you are in his blind spot. He doesn't know where you are at the moment. So that's kind of a little communication tip as well. And actually, I'd say he probably had a better shot than you too. Alright, so that was actually good pressure for a while, up until the point where you guys just kind of made a big hole for them to get past you. I definitely like keeping a certain amount of space away from the play. However, you can't give them like opportunities to just kind of poke out like that. So one way to avoid that would, one, Scope not turning into the wall.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking of right
Yeah.
then.
So yeah, you definitely want to never be playing on the wall anticipating things. Only be going on the wall when you know 100% sure that something's about to happen there. And then for MK, I think that could have been avoided by trying to reestablish the straight line. So coming out here, hitting a few pads would have kind of put that straight line back into play, and then also provide you with boost. And then that's if picked a racer. That's if the offense continues. And then B, if they start bringing it out, now you're in a better position to stop them doing that. And then also just challenging them there probably would have been best. Again, never want to give them unnecessary space.
Yeah, I think I thought he was gonna go on the wall, and so that just left me in a terrible spot
Yeah.
when he cut in.
But even if he did go on the wall, like, you can just follow him up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm seeing this triangle everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Form the equilateral triangle.
But yeah, that's a good thing that you're recognizing it without me pointing it out. Like, you know, all the addiction therapy places say, like, admitting your mistakes is like the first step. So
We're on step 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bald.
Yeah. One's player?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not, but I can recognize them. I'm actually a pretty good dribbler for not ever, not ever, but rarely playing ones.
Same.
I like playing ones and twos, but threes is definitely more different strategy.
Yeah. Okay, another big concept here is so you need to differentiate where you are in the rotation. Are you mid-rotation? Have you completed it? Are you initiating it? In this position, scope is in the transition phase of rotating. And very rarely should you be going for anything when you're in the transition phase, because this is usually the result of what happens. There are some instances where you can just, like, say they're driving it upfield and you have an opportunity to just kind of, like, come in and be a pest. That's the most common play where you should actually be trying to do something in transition.
Okay.
And then also, if you do find yourself in transition, you want to be turning off ball cam to see if there is anyone that can make the play other than you. So that's kind of a general rule too. Say you're coming back, they're coming up. You want to turn off ball cam, see if there's anybody here that can go make the challenge, and then just come in back post and give them backup as well. Yeah, so this is a case in which triangle kind of works. I mean, yeah, ideally Weiser was probably looking to hit that, but then just based on where you guys like kind of lands, like it's kind of inevitable. And then MK being there is good because there's an opportunity that he sees coming. And again, you don't want to be giving away opportunities just to stay in straight line. That's just like ways you want to be initiating things. But again, you don't want to be giving up opportunities to take a shot or retain possession. So that was good.
Right.
And then here, like, once you guys start getting more comfortable with that type of positioning, um, you'll be more confident of where your teammates are. And if you know that this guy is going to have, you know, if he's doing what he needs to be doing by coming in and challenging you, what you can do is when you know that you're confident in your teammate's position, you can just like hit that on the sidewall, and then Weiser will have a really easy shot to put it in.
That makes sense.
So, how long have you guys been playing?
As like a team or?
No, Rocket League.
Too long.
Oh, I guess I got the game in 2018, but I didn't start playing until like March of this year.
Okay. So that's actually
About 2,500 hours.
okay.
I got like 800. I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm at like 600, I think. I got it last year, but playing it a lot more this year.
Okay. So I'm gonna do from actually we'll watch the rolls, see if what happens here. Yeah, so again, you guys kind of just make a hole that they can break through. And then from here, nothing really wrong was done. I mean, yeah, you probably could have made a better challenge on that, but, you know, you're going to lose challenges. There's not a whole lot to say strategically to get better at it. You just kind of have to do them. So, like, there, in retrospect, you could have driven a little bit more towards the net and then make that.
Okay.
And then yeah, I guess from here MK could have gone a little bit wider. I get the thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see K flip
Yeah.
or even think you'd pass it. It just looked like a shot opportunity.
Yeah. And that was a really good pass from that dude, for sure. I mean, it was just like good pressure from them, but it ultimately happened because, you know, that hole was created that they were able to
Right.
break through.
Yeah.
So again, this was just kind of the result of a little bit too much space being given. Here, I do like that Weiser's using pads. It's probably very low on boost at this point. However, this is a position where you just have to go for that ball, even even out of boost, because either A, you present yourself as a decoy. You know you can't really make that challenge. However, just by being there, that forces them to have to make a decision quicker. And whenever you do that, that increases the odds that they're going to make the wrong decision, or they're going to make a worse hit. B is that you actually put yourself in a position to where you can just like win a 50-50. Like whenever you find yourself out of boost, all you really need to do is just get slightly behind the ball, let them hit it, and at the point of contact, just make your car as like big as possible and trying to hit as center of it as possible. And that's going to result in a favorable 50-50 for you that hopefully one of your teammates can come and just like grab it from you. Or you can continue to just like dribble to the point where you hopefully like hit a few pads or something, or even better, 100. And then here, so with this, so as you guys are playing from here on out, try and force yourself to be a little bit more aware of where the ball's going to be going. So at this moment here, like I know that this is going up the wall because of the way that it's hitting it, the way that the ball is like coming down. So by going up the wall, that gives Scope a better chance of actually hitting it. And then maybe just a bad read from MK, but that's a mechanical thing that you can work out. In addition to all kinds of shots, this is something I'm going to be working on as well. It's called wall defense. And the trick here is that you want to be using your upward momentum to your advantage. See how I'm jumping early and allowing just my momentum to carry me up? What a lot of people do is they'll be like jumping where the ball is, and then their upward momentum works against them, and they just get like a floppy hit like that. Instead, you use your upward, and you're able to make contact on the sweet spot of the ball, which is like a little bit under. Oop, that was a bad one. I thought I recovered. Hitting that sweet spot that's like slightly under center will give you much better clears out of this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this will also help you.
Send us this one too.
Yeah, I will. This will also help you out offensively as well by practicing this, so it's kind of a two-way thing. And one other thing, I didn't particularly take any notice of this, but based on the rank that you guys are at, I'm just going to assume that most of you don't have a perfect fast aerial. Because, like, I see people in Champ 3, even low GC, not have a very good one. So the trick here, and this is a good exercise for that turn boost back on, is, ooh, that was bad, to try and get to the ceiling, and you want to make your car as flat as possible, or as vertical as possible, as soon as possible. And eventually you'll just notice, like, it just looks better, right? And then like when you're launching, should look something like that. People with poor ones tend to be like they're flat like this, flat like this, and then they jump. That is a poor fast aerial. So the trick is to be pulling down on your stick before you jump. That is going to allow you to get a much better fast aerial. And then back to the all kinds of shots pack. This first shot, especially if you have Bacchus mod, because it gives you like the variation and you don't like get used to the flight path of the ball. This shot right here is literally probably the best shot you can actually train on, because it forces, not all of them like that one, but for some of them it forces you to get a, like that one, forces you to get a perfect fast aerial. And that one too. And then it also helps you read sidewall bounces, which is very important. And then it also teaches you where to be making contact on the ball. So like I mentioned, you know, the sweet spot is either at the bottom like that, or in this shot's case, because it's, you need to be shooting downward a little bit, is a little bit above the center. And I usually look better doing this, but I'm talking, so it's a little bit more difficult. But this should give you a general idea of what I'm talking about. And then typically car control training is very beneficial for just about any skill level, but especially at y'all's. So, you know, there's lots of things out there to work on car control. There's a lot of workshop stuff like Lethamir's rings. So that's definitely something big to work on. Also, I'll give you guys one more. Double tap training. I typically advise people to consider like flip reset training, shit like that. Think of that as like dessert. Like, you can't be making that your entire diet. But a lot of people still do that. However, one like flashy mechanic that's actually very beneficial for you is double tap training. The reason being is you have to get a very good first touch on this, and to do so, you have to like air roll into it, and there's going to be a lot of shots that you see coming towards you, to where adding a little bit of air roll like that will help you get like really good accuracy on your shots, as well as additional power as well. See how like that one just gained a whole lot of power as opposed to not. And then also double taps will help your car control as well, because you have to recover from that air roll. And then also, it's actually a very viable shot to go for. Because, especially if you see the backboard open and they have like two defenders there, you can then, you know, try and, I'm a bit rusty, I haven't practiced double taps in a while. You know, you could try and beat them if the defenders are grounded.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it also helps your overall car control, as well as being able to find that sweet spot of the ball. Alright, so last thing we'll do is watch a replay from Master, so you can kind of see what the difference is, especially after an hour of watching y'all's play. Um, yeah, this was a good one.
Looks like you destroyed them.
Yeah. Yeah, so in this instance, I knew that Leaf was dead. So I immediately made the transition to third to second. And I kind of just saw where Nick was putting it. So, again, like, it's an initiation. It's not something you should necessarily stick to the entire time. But you can kind of tell, like, the space that we are giving from the play when we're not, like, required. And that allows us to maintain our speed. This was a bit of a hiccup from us. I probably should have been a little bit more mid, knowing that Nick was there. And then, like, back to the point of making things easier for yourself. I know that, you know, I have to make a play on this ball, but I'm not immediately turning for that. Because I know that, you know, I have time to go and make the touch that I need.
I just looked at a house near Lake Buchanan, $449,000.
Bro,
That was probably the most insane pinch I've ever gotten.
nice pinch. What the hell?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, Nick's a very mechanical player. So, you know, he pops it up over shimmy, knowing that if he tries to take the shot there, he's being challenged. So that's a good kind of trick to add to your arsenal. And then, you know, he just makes a pretty sick read. But, you know, that gave him the opportunity to do that. And then even if he doesn't make that kind of read, that creates a very good opportunity for us as well. Yeah, so that looked a bit awkward. However, I was looking. I was trying to give Leaf a passing option, but fortunately just got beat to it. Kind of led to a bit of an awkwardness. But we kind of get back into form. All right. And then just going to leave you with, so yeah, I know that this is going backboard already, just because of like, I know how he's going to hit the ball. So I preemptively go up, make that. This ended up being a real sick passing play.
Oh my gosh.
Smooth.
That was really smooth. Got the back pass and everything.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So here is what a good fast arrow can do for you. Look at my boost when I actually go for the ball. Like
23.
hardly any.
Ooh.
So like just having good overall speed, knowing that the football's there, so I managed to grab one. I have to go out a little bit wide because I know that if I jump here or like more where that pad is, that would just go over me. So I knew I had to go out wide a bit, and that's what like just. This is actually shot 7 from All Kinds of Shot, almost identical to it. So like that just goes to show how much I love that pack. And then also the proper fast aerial. Notice how there was like hardly any adjustment when I went up for it. So that just goes to show like how important that fast aerial is to get down. All right, so probably end it there. Does anyone have any questions, or if you're like struggling with something at the moment that I can kind of give tips for, like mechanically wise?
I don't think so. Is there a... Okay, so you know the thing where you're like, okay, so you're driving on the back wall, and then you go upside down, and then I guess up, you front flip, and then you like get a really far clear.
Okay. Where is it? Talking about this?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Okay. So what do you need explaining on it again?
I don't know. Is there? I guess it's in that. You're gonna send that training back.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like here, most of the time, what I'm doing is jumping and air rolling at the same time to get myself like flush with the car. A lot of people like kind of do just that, and you can do it, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult for yourself.
Do you ever like to let it bounce here? Like hit it off the bounce off the back wall?
As I say, MK, you talking about whenever if you let it bounce and then hit it, you get a lot more power off.
Like that.
Yeah.
So yes and no.
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Yeah. And then also there's times where that's your only option too, because like you're not quite there yet.
Right.
So from there you just like depending on how far you get to do it, yeah, you can get a kind of a pinch like that. But it's more difficult to do. So it's the safer thing is always going to be like just this. And then also by keeping it more towards your half, but also sending it far out enough to where it's not by the goal. It's actually easier for your teammate to like swing out and maintain the possession for you guys.
Right. It's like starting a counterattack versus giving them the ball.
Yeah.
Just booting it for him.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, that's better than just like centering it for them. But yeah, if you can, obviously you want to try and maintain the possession. Yeah. Anything else?
That's it. I don't know if you guys have anything.
I feel like nothing. No specific question, but can we do replay analysis sometime?
Yeah.
I feel like this is really good, like for my brain.
Yeah, and we'll see how you guys improve. I did a couple sessions with. I always confuse the tiers. It was with Stingrays.
Oh, the Challenger.
Yeah, and they definitely seem to be kind of turning it around. So this is definitely kind of proven stuff. I had a lot of success with the Killer Whales last season. They went to the grand finals. Unfortunately, our star player did not make it, so we ended up losing that.
Damn.
Yeah, I think we would have won it, but oh well. Still a very good season. And then they also went to the Final Four the season before. So, oh no, the minor team did that I coached. So, yeah, implementing these strategies will definitely set you guys ahead of all the other teams. And it's like nothing that, you don't have to be cracked out of your mind mechanically. It's just, just being aware of things are going on. And then also, like, when you guys play on the same page, it allows for a lot better team chemistry. Like, you can just force yourself to play a lot, and sometimes that's actually bad, because it will, like, reinforce, like, negative decision making. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So yeah, I'll end it there unless anyone has anything else.
I don't have anything.
Cool.
Well, just to like summarize some points to think about, like speed, try and avoid the triangle on the initial attack. Close down the shot angle.
Yeah, definitely be a little bit more aggressive on defense. Try to take away as much space for them as possible. Force them to, like, I'm always telling people, like, force the other guys to make the perfect shot. And more often than not, they're not going to. But with space, it makes things a lot easier for them. And you just want to make things difficult.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, those key things will definitely get some more wins for you guys.
Sweet. That's all I like to hear.
Yep.